I do not have a kettle yet because I don't drink hot drinks very often. Today we are setting myself up with one because it's nice and toasty in here, it's raining outside and candles lit. I just want to get into this. It's a pretty heavy topic, so while we're settling down to get into this topic, I get super comfy. And as I've sat down, I've just realised this speaker's still playing. Now that can't happen because of copyright. Honestly, I would have loved to just sit here and talk to you with music in the background. Anyways, okay. Welcome back to the second motherfucking episode on YouTube. I'm really happy about this one because I've thought this topic over several occasions in the last couple of weeks. I've had a whole holiday to think about it. I've had walks to think about it. And this is a very personal topic for me because it's this whole thing that I'm about to uncover to you. It wasn't designed, it was discovered, which I think is like, oh, it's even better because it's not something that you can just like think of in the top of your head, or maybe you can. If you can, then you can just leave because you don't need me. But overall, this topic has been the highlight of my year because I've tried many different routines and I figured that there's more than one that work for me and there's a lot that don't work for me, and that's okay. So I've got a whole notepad. I don't know how to get comfy right now. I'm wearing toe socks. Hell yeah, it's toe socks. The brand is actually also called Toe Socks, which I love. I want to just say to you, flat out, you're not unmotivated, you're overwhelmed. You are overwhelmed, and I know what that's like to finally hear. It's like, fuck me, someone actually gets it. I know. It's not often that someone just comes over here and reassures you so quickly, but that's what I do here. Welcome. So this episode is really for the people who struggle to keep a routine and make it work. And we are all that person, truly. We all have that struggle and face it at some point because life fluctuates so much. But this is exactly what this episode is about, because I'm going to teach you how to roll with those fluctuations in a way that you are always taking a step closer towards your goals and never actually going backwards. So most people assume that a lack of ability to keep a routine is a character flaw, when in reality it's actually a motivational mismatch. And I think it's really important to just soak that in for a second. You're not the problem here, but your ability to understand your routine is. But that's exactly what we're solving today. We're doing some serious problem solving today, which is very exciting if you ask me. So the main point right now is I want to point out the difference between extrinsic and intrinsic motivations, which is something that not many people talk about when it comes to routines, but actually it's the foundation of routines. What extrinsic means is that you're externally looking for things to motivate you. For example, if you say, I need this new outfit to go and do this workout, or I need a coffee to start my day, your routines are very knowingly built around these extrinsic rules that we place on ourselves, and actually that is the cause of inconsistency. Because what happens if you don't get those objects? What happens if one morning you skip a coffee? Is your whole day ruined because you didn't get a hit of caffeine? I don't like that. Do you like it? Like the whole day gone because you haven't met your high expectations of having this consistent materialistic shit. We don't need any of that, really, do we? We want to need it, but we don't need it. And on the opposite side of that is intrinsic. So intrinsic motivations in routines looks like building your routine around your values. For example, one of my values is resilience, and so my routine looks like trying hard every day, but also knowing when to stop. Fighting, I guess with resilience, you pick your battles, but at the same time, it's having that motivation to get up every day just because I have the skill of resilience. And if you start building your routines around skills rather than extrinsic things like needing a coffee, needing a green juice, doing yoga on a really nice yoga mat in the morning, I don't know, Pilates, stuff like that. If you can't start your morning without something, then you are automatically going to fail at some point, because these things should not be your foundations. Foundations of routine should be intrinsic. It should be your core values. It should be what you believe in. It should be what you think about yourself or what you want to become. These are the cores of how your routine should be led. Another way of looking at extrinsic routines is doing something to avoid a consequence or doing something to meet the expectations of other people. And a big one with that, especially with the whole fad on YouTube, is the 5 a.m. club. And guilty as charged, I do wake up at 5:30, but only because I like to get in bed early and because my routine just works better that way with what I want to do every day, especially working 9 till 5. But I used to fall into the trap of thinking, okay, I need to change my life now. I'm going to start this routine. I'm not going to stop, and I'm going to become successful. There's these fads and trends that go around saying like, oh, because these successful people wake up early every morning, that means that that's the route to success. And so people build routines around that, realize it doesn't work for them, and then crash, and then wonder if that's what routine looks like for people that become successful. And if I can't achieve that, then how am I supposed to be successful? And it's left it there. No questions asked. Which is very self-limiting, and also, to be honest, a bit ignorant. Not every single person got to the same place in the same way. And this whole episode is going to be talking about how you can get to the same place in many different ways. And being prepared with different routines is one of the easiest ways to keep pushing forward without losing track of your goals or without going backwards. So throughout this episode, I want us to let go of the trap that you believe you need something in order to achieve something. It's like going against the whole ideology of you need to have money to make money. That's not true. Yeah, it's not true. I have to think about, like, obviously it's much harder if you don't have money and you need to make money. At the same time, it's still very much possible. There are more currencies that can help you get to money other than money. For example, people, having good people around you, which doesn't cost money. Having good friends, that doesn't cost money. Building skills doesn't always cost money. A lot of skills are completely self-built and through experience and through trying stuff. So if you really want to get somewhere, especially next year, I know, like, oh, what's the answer, Rosie? What is the routine? There is no one answer and there is no one routine, because if there was, we would all be doing it and we would be very bored. So the routine that only works when you have the right tools, the right clothes, the right coffee in the morning, that's not a routine. It's a performance, and performances are the reason people burn out. So now I'm going to take us into the material expectation barrier. So society convinces us that productivity requires certain possessions, right? And we all fall into the trap of, if you feel like you don't have the right aesthetic, you don't feel like you have the perfect desk setup or the matching set that everyone else has at the gym, or you feel like you don't have enough fucking money, then we don't begin. It is the biggest fucking trap ever. And it wasn't even set by our natural organic selves. it was set by these motherfucking overruling societal expectations, these illusions that we need stuff to start. And we do not need stuff to start. It's the complete opposite way. It's like having dessert before dinner. The first thing you need to have is the first step towards it. And over time you will accumulate things, the perfect desk setup over time when you've paid for like this and that, and then you'll accumulate a wardrobe of gorgeous gym clothes over time. You will accumulate money and wealth over time. But if you are just simply assuming that it's normal to have dessert before dinner, then the problem is with you. Expectations and societal norms are personally kept. If you are choosing to keep it and choosing to move forward with this whack ideology that you need to have stuff to do stuff, then you're always going to be stuck until you have it. But then we all like to make the excuse of, oh, well, I can't get it because I can't afford it, or I can't get it because I don't feel like I deserve it. It's a loophole. And if you don't want to be stuck in a loophole, then drop the idea, because it's not an idea that is going to benefit you in the long run, and it's definitely not an idea that is there to support you and help you succeed. And I think the irony of having dessert before dinner is what you actually achieve in having this good thing before achieving the outcome is that you get this dopamine spike that satisfies you enough to the point where you don't feel like you need to chase the end goal anymore because you're satisfied. I think it is the biggest mistake you can make, and it's important to have healthy boundaries with yourself where you can treat these possessions and these dopamine farming objects as a reward, not as the process. And if you choose not to, then you are less likely to maintain a solid routine or less likely to succeed, because you are constantly just picking, oh, me want coffee, oh, me have coffee, they not go get better. Do you know what I mean? Like, day's not going to get better now because you've already had the dopamine spike. So if you can farm dopamine that easily, and you can achieve this good feeling that you have inside so easily, then what is the point of going even further and trying? But then as soon as that dopamine spike crashes, you'll come back and remember that actually you were working towards something and completely forgot because you got distracted with this dopamine farming fucking object. Let things be a privilege, I think, is a key lesson to learn. Let them be a privilege and let yourself work hard. Let yourself suffer. Let yourself face challenges. If you don't, you will always chase the easy path, and the easy path is very, very short. It is not worth wasting your time on the easy path that leads to nowhere. You will be stuck with a bunch of people that have also taken the short, easy path who are not happy with their lives. And if you want to be part of that community, then go ahead. But this is not what this channel is about. This channel is about going the further step, the further mile, and achieving things that last long, extrinsically and intrinsically. Because at the end of the day, when you come out of this long journey of trying to achieve something, you will have both. The outcome is whole. But right now, you have to be okay with not having this perfect picture. Because if you're not happy with not having a perfect picture, then what's the point in painting? I hope these metaphors are making sense. I feel like a poet right now. I'm gonna get rid of this. Okay. So if you begin with much less, say a blank foundation, and your biggest motivation is simply your intrinsic values, it's your resilience, it's your confidence in yourself, it's your ability to keep faith during hard times. If that is what is pushing you on this routine, You have faith that rest is still progress. You have faith that every step is still a step and every step counts. Then you are far more likely to continue, and not only will you continue, you will enjoy the process. We can derive only a certain amount of joy from objects. We can derive an unlimited amount of joy from intrinsic values. And that is because if I hold this pen, there is a beginning and an end to this pen. If I imagine my resilience, there is arguably a beginning, there is no end. Because how can I define the end of my resilience if I have such a long life to live now? It's something we can't define. It is completely ineffable. So what happens is when you build a routine on intrinsic values, the gates open up such a bigger potential. And I'm coming from a perspective of growing up with nothing. And not only were these material things not met, the emotional needs weren't met either. I had to look completely inwards and go on this very lone and sad journey of trying to figure out what is it I can build from nothing. What is it I can build from nothing? Luckily, I had the privilege of good education, so I took very good advantage of that, and one step led to another. But if I didn't start with those core values inside of myself, that resilience to push me through those early stages, which is literally the core value I move by every day, if I didn't have that before the education even came, then I wouldn't have taken advantage of the education. I would have flopped. It is easier to go further when you start with nothing. So ending that discussion, just want you to know, always have dinner before dessert. If you don't, you're going to rewire your synapses to shorten pathways and always try and make everything easier and never work hard. And that is a sad life. If things were always easy and you had nothing challenging you, you wouldn't be able to grow. We literally need pressure, we need grit, we need challenge in order to grow. And this is where we come into positive tension. Positive tension is actually something I picked up on during my new job. It's in the automotive industry and we're talking business. So positive tension for business owners is a massive thing. So the two elements I want to focus on is where you are and who you're becoming. These are the two elements that can really build pressure, because you know where you are. Maybe you are in a much different place to where you were a few years ago, maybe you're not. But who you're becoming is a constant pressure that we all have. And when taken seriously enough and combining the two, we are able to find this new friction which enables us to grow. Having a routine based on positive tension helps you to build a routine that is continually stretching you, but not to a point where it's snapping you. And snapping is called burnout. As we mentioned earlier, this can look like building a routine on extrinsic values, where it's just constantly performing, constantly needing material objects to achieve something or to do something, to justify why you're even doing it. But when we start looking intrinsically, we're able to build positive tension through who we're becoming and who we are right now. And positive tension also helps us to understand our own capacity. It's not a punishment or overwhelm. It's intentional change. It's when your routine honors your energy while nudging your growth, which helps you to stop feeling like you're failing at your own life. And for me, this has been having the awareness of when I need to stop or when I need to slow down, but also knowing that I am responsible for my own growth. So when we start introducing this intentional challenge into our routine, it's important to absolutely completely orbit everything around adaptability. If you know how to pivot around different situations, different energy levels, then there's literally nothing stopping you but yourself. For example, if I had a set end destination and some days I was walking 5 steps, some days I was walking 10,000 steps, sometimes I was not walking at all, but I wasn't going backwards. This still takes me to that end goal, but also honors my energy levels when I'm having a very tired day, but also uses and maximizes my strong energy level days. And with this in mind, I'm constantly moving in the same direction, just at different paces, at different times, with respect for my energy levels and my current circumstances. This is something that I've used continuously this year after facing things like pneumonia and anemia, things like that, and being able to adapt into different routines and not having just one routine, because that is the killer. Expecting yourself to have one routine is the killer. Nobody should have one routine. What are you expecting to do for the rest of your life if you have one routine? Everyone should have around 3 to 4 routines, in my opinion, and we will get further into that. But right now, it's important to note that when you have different levels that you can apply yourself and you know how you're going to apply yourself, that is when you can become a strategic planner, which will help you in all areas of life, and also being able to deal with strong emotions when things don't go your way. When something bad happens, having the ability to work around this is going to give you superpowers. So being positively tense, positively intentional, that equals to success. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, the routines that I've built for myself were not designed, they were discovered through being able to gain those intrinsic values and strengthen my intrinsic values through like resilience and adaptability. Having those values led me to this path where I am now explaining to you why one routine is never going to work. Such a weird journey. But anyway, the point is, I had to look back and measure and analyze the year that I've had to understand how have I got here so fast, where I am right now from the beginning of the year. A fuck ton has changed in a year in so many different ways, and I can honestly say best year ever so far, even though I have worked my ass off to get here. And it's all down to being flexible and being adaptable and not letting yourself be closed to these rules that if you don't have something, you can't do something. That is a lie. It is a lie told to keep us in place. We should be able to move very freely, creatively, and effortlessly. Just literally apply yourself, pick up a book. We also have the power of the internet, by the way. If there's something you're not confident in, don't let confidence be the thing that stops you. Let confidence be the thing that you grow into. Being bad at something is a sign that you have opportunities, not a sign that you can't do stuff. You have to flip that mindset. Flip that fucking mindset, okay? Because that is going to keep you stuck. If you want to embody those ideas and rules, they're going to keep you stuck. This is the way forward. Having different routines that work in like a rotation. So when we look at fad routines like the 75 hard challenge, why most people did not complete it was because most people do not work that way. And the 75 hard challenge is not a lifelong routine. It is not realistic. For people who have completed it, congratulations, honestly, but most of us don't. And it's not because we aren't good enough. I feel like these kind of routines are almost elitist. For the people that don't complete them, there's this assumption that you can't hold a routine or you aren't disciplined enough. everyone functions differently. We are fluid people and we all need different ways of being. And having that respect for yourself to know that you need something different and going out and finding it is the biggest thing you can do. And that right now is what we are doing. So thank you for being here. I'm proud of you for being here. And I really want to see this work for you. So we're about to get into the blueprint that has worked for me. And I've built it into a structure so we can really break it down and get to know how it can look. So I recently posted on social media about the ABCD method, and it's such a simple structure that is almost common sense, but at the same time, sometimes we just need to get it out, write it down and talk about it, because a lot of the time we don't do that and things become unspoken and then things become unheard. For the people that haven't necessarily even considered having more than one routine, it's okay. This is a safe space, welcome, and it's going to get a lot easier for you. So, ABCD, what does that even mean? So I've ranked it in a way that you would rank grades. A is the highest, D is still a pass, but it's the lowest, and that's okay. So A is you at your highest energy level, maximum effort, maximum outcome. You are reaping the rewards, you are doing the hard work because you can. And this is important for women, especially with the 4 different cycles. So this works wonderfully with women on a weekly basis, potentially with men in a different way. If we're thinking about just general energy levels or how you're feeling emotionally, mentally, blah, 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 this works with everyone and you can apply it however you want. So routine A is going to be your most ideal routine. You are achieving at your highest. And the way that I like to do this is you can either break it down into days or you can break it down into weeks. To make it really simple, just to describe this to you guys, I'm going to break it down into weeks. So week 1 is A. We're thinking high output. We're thinking high energy. You are going to bed on time every day, you are waking up on time every day, you are completing those workout routines, you are eating healthy, drinking enough water, reading that book, putting the phone down and doing something creative and talking to people and building stuff. High output, high energy. But then we go down just a little bit. So then we go to routine B, which is going to be your medium effort, but still generally high output. But it's not going to be as high of an output as A, obviously, but it's still definitely above the line of average. So routine B is a very solid routine, just a little bit less than A, because we've got less energy, we've got less time, maybe less space, maybe you're facing a personal conflict, a personal health issue, or anything else. It's just really important to have a little bit more flexibility in this week. Just prioritizing mental health a lot more and rest a little bit more too. The output of this will look satisfying. You feel like you've had a good week, a good day, and you can go to bed knowing that you did a good job. It wasn't the best and maximum effort you could have ever done, but it definitely still passed. And then we move down to C. C is low effort, medium reward. So we're thinking you do what you can at the bare minimum and you still achieve what you need to achieve. I like to think of this as working from home. You don't have to make the travel. You don't have to talk to people in person. If you're an introvert, we all get burnt out. It's okay. This can definitely look like this for you. Another way is thinking of it as working out at home instead of working at the gym. Something lighter, a lighter exercise, maybe it's just going for a walk today instead of doing a full-blown workout or a run or whatever you do. It's getting enough exercise in that you feel mindful about it, but also, it's beneficial. Because you're restoring your body, you're restoring your mind, and you're also still getting a little bit of output at the same time. So overall, that averages out to be good still. Okay, and then we move down to D. D weeks or D days are going to be your rest day, and it is fucking crucial to make sure that you are incorporating this into a routine as a routine. If you don't know how to rest, which most of us don't know how to do now, because we are always stimulating ourselves with a phone, with TV, with music. I am so bad for music. My Spotify Wrapped came out to 90,000 minutes. So D is going to be time for rest. You don't have to journal if you don't want to. Just complete bare minimum week, but make sure that you are still not going under the line to E, blah, blah, blah. Anything below this line, this is D. Anything below is reversing your routine and doing something bad. D is keeping it at the bare minimum and not moving forwards or backwards. It's important to remember that, because D does not mean binge eating, fucking up your diet, choosing not to get any exercise, and just literally sabotaging something. That's not what D means. D is still a pass. Anything below that means you're taking steps backwards. It's important to navigate that, because the whole point of this structure means that you are either moving forward or you're just hovering around the same space for a little bit while you rest and recuperate. But D is essential for preventing burnout. It's essential for letting your body to recuperate, especially if you train heavily. It's still important to rest. I hate getting into a routine when I'm in week A and then the next week I want to be in week A again, but it's not possible because I need a D week. However, the whole point of this is to have adaptability and having that respect for your own energy levels and respect for your capacity. Factually speaking, if you follow this structure, you will always be moving forward, because even staying in the same place for a tiny bit is still part of that moving forward, because you are not going back. So it's a pretty good routine if you ask me, and it's something that has honoured bad days. It's honoured when life just completely shits on you. It's honoured those hormonal days. It's honoured illness and sickness, and yet it still provides an outcome. And most routines do not have space or room or time to not be working towards something, which is a massive failure, big time. It is just so crucial to have it, invite it, and accept it as part of the structure. A good routine would look like week A, week B, week C, week D. I would say that's a healthy routine. It's okay to have week A, week B, week A, week D. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, as long as you are moving, then you are doing and you are achieving. It's simple as that. So yeah, this is the structure that I have revealed to myself over a long period of time, like 1 or 2 years. And I never really thought about it like this before, and I didn't even think of it as acceptable to have that much flexibility and also incorporate rest in that different way. I didn't think it was close to acceptable. It felt really wrong, and it felt like week D felt like complete failure, especially because before I went on a contraceptive pill to stop my hormone problem, I had and still do have PMDD. So I can't remember if I've mentioned this before. I've definitely mentioned it on my podcast on Spotify. However, PMDD is predysphoric menstrual disorder, PMDD. Premenstrual dysphoric disorder. That's what I meant. Okay, premenstrual dysphoric disorder. And basically it would be like 2 good weeks and 2 bad weeks. It was extreme highs and lows. So my low would be pretty bad, and I would go below that D week. It would dip down because I would struggle to even function at the baseline. The only UK solution to that from the NHS is to go on the contraceptive pill and have no periods at all. So that's what I've had to do after battling with this since I was 13. I think 9 years of this is enough, and being on the contraceptive pill has definitely helped me balance that out. And also coming out of it, I've had a lot more respect for myself when I was going through it and raw dogging it, because PMDD is not something that can be taken lightly. It is fucking horrific. It has destroyed so many opportunities for me. I would always take 2 steps forward, 3 back, because that bad week was just horrific. And there's just not enough support out there for women with PMDD. And yeah, I'm hoping in the future I don't have to be on the contraceptive pill for so long, because it is a carcinogen. And I am very much aware of that. However, I think right now this is what's working for me, and it's helped me get to this end point and have this clarity over how I work, and also building a routine that fits people's lives who struggle. And this is exactly what this structure is for. It is there for everyone who has complex, fluctuating lives that is completely out of their control. It is learning to have grace and honor yourself on those bad weeks, and also know when to push through, but don't push when you can't push. Sometimes when you have to push, it's a shit. So just don't do it. Nothing good in life is forced. So do things with pride. Do things because it means something good to you. Do things because it meets your values, and do things because it makes you feel good. Do things because of the positive, healthy outcomes. I don't know, it's complicated, guys. I'm getting frazzled now. I need to check my notes, because I am feeling okay. We are coming towards the end of this, because I have said so much, and I'm starting to melt. All right, so key takeaways. Number 1. Okay, I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark and hope that it's actually focusing on me. Okay, so based off my notes for this episode, we've got number 1, routines fail if they're extrinsic. Let go of those materialistic expectations. Number 2, the thought, I don't have this, so I can't do it, keeps you trapped in material and societal expectations that don't even matter. They were created by someone else who you don't know, who I don't know. That's the mystery to me. Should be a mystery to you. Let's not listen to people who literally don't exist in our current. It was just a myth, okay? Right, number 3. You don't need the perfect setup. Really, I mean it. You need alignment with your values, your energy, and your goals. That hits the money. Okay, number 4. We're on number 4. Routine. I can't read my handwriting. Okay, positive tension helps you grow by stretching your capacity without overwhelming you. Right, if you will know if what you're doing is too much, because you will be overwhelmed. Simple as that. We should be doing things that are challenging, but they aren't burning us out, okay? Right. We are on number 6. Flexibility is not laziness. It's a skill for consistency. Okay? A skill for consistency. And it's very important to have that skill in every single field that you get into, including personal. If you don't have the skill to be flexible and the skill to adapt, then I have bad news for you. You're not going to be part of the next evolution. But I mean, if that's what you want, then that's okay. But anyways, I really hope that this has been a helpful episode. I know like these are going to continuously be intense, but I feel like someone has to say it and also break it down in a very educational way. And that person is me, so yeah, you're welcome. I love talking about this stuff, especially because it's so directly personal to my life. And yeah. So if you like this, please hit like. It would be really nice if you could do that. Especially because this is now a growing channel. And I promise to commit to you. I will commit to you. Because this is genuinely one of my passions and it hits all of my intrinsic values. Ooh, getting technical. So you know it's gonna last. It's just so cool. You know, this is a real smile right now. Yeah, and if any of you people in marketing or in anything creative are like watching this right now, I'm going to tell you something that not many people will tell you. This green tea was a ploy. It was an aesthetic ploy. That is the real reason I don't have a kettle, is because I don't drink tea that often. And I thought it would be cute, set the vibe. But now that only some of you are watching this, and only a few of you have got to the end of this episode, I feel like it would be funny that only some of you know this information and some of you don't. So I'm just so happy to have got the second one out. And editing is going to be a pain in my ass, but when I get it out, I know it's going to be so good. Anyway, what's time? I've got to get cracking. I've got to get this on the laptop. And so yeah, I will see you in the next freaking episode. Should be, let's find out the exact date, shall we? So obviously Sunday, because we are indeed the Sunday Reset Club. And the whole point of this is because I want you to wake up on a Sunday morning and think, how can I make next week better? For me, for people around me, for my routine, blah, 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 blah. I want you to wake up every Sunday morning completely motivated to upskill and just keep getting better. Okay, next one that's coming out is the 20th. No, it's not. It's the 21st. Okay, next one that's coming out is the 21st of December, really close to Christmas, and I don't care because this is fun. So I hope that I see you on the 21st, and you'll have to comment and let me know what chocolate you got in your advent calendar, because I actually chose not to get one this year because I get really badly addicted to sugar, and if I have a piece of chocolate every day, then that's going to be a very lasting habit for me going into 2026, and I want to leave that behind. So yeah, I really look forward to the next episode. If there's anything you want to talk about, drop a comment below. I'm also, why haven't I spoken about this yet? Fuck. Right, okay. Super exciting. I have also started dropping you guys a freaking email on a Sunday morning. And it's going to be basically a little summary of the episode that we just literally faced, and a little extra bit, a little extra twist. You know how I like to drop little bits of info for exclusive members. Yeah. So it's going to be really cute. It's going to be like, oh, you get a little email and you click on it and you're like, oh God, it's a Sunday Reset Club. I'm part of this Sunday Reset Club. It makes you feel productive. It makes me feel good. It's a win-win. So you click on that and you scroll and you're like, oh, that's so fucking thought-provoking. I'm going to try that this week. And I'm going to be like, success. And then we're both going to live happily ever after. And I will see you every Sunday. Okay, I'm like low-key I'm really happy with how this went, so I hope you are too. And if you have friends and family that need that little extra push with educational background and deep and meaningful shit, then please send this to them, because I want the world to know that things can get easier for them and they can get better, and it often doesn't cost much. So that is that, and thank you for watching. Oh, okay, I need to stop because I'm really excited about this episode. Yeah, we'll see how the next one goes. I don't know what it's going to be on yet, but it's likely going to be related to this one. Anyways, good speaking to you, and I hope that this helps with your week to come. You have now got Sunday to make a new routine, or 4 or 3. Totally up to you. Do what works for you. And good luck. So see you next Sunday.